Yes, the headlines of the week. Controversy down there in Australia. We see that Djokovic is detained again. He's got his visa cancelled by the minister. Now, big problems in Australia. You'll know his fate tomorrow at 9 o'clock, whether he's in or he's out. Now, moving on to another controversial topic, Formula One. Well, they launched the inquiry about the race there in Abu Dhabi on December the 17th. Max Verstappen, that final lap with Max Verstappen and the discrepancies that went on down there. So they've launched the inquiry, and within the next 2 weeks, we'll know if it will be overturned and whether Max will retain the championship or they will hand it over to Lewis Hamilton, giving him the record-breaking season of 8 World Championship titles. Now, today, NFL, wildcard weekend. Now, we see that Cincinnati Bengals will be taking on Oakland Raiders at 4:30, and we'll have Bills playing against the Patriots at 8:30. That should be an exciting match. I know Buffalo is 1-1 tie between Buffalo and the Patriots during the regular season. So I know that Josh Allen and the new kid on the block from QB for Patriots, Mac Jones, will be looking to square off. That should be a good match as well. Now, tomorrow we have Tampa Bay Bucks facing Philadelphia Eagles. And we see where the Bucks losing Antonio Brown, with the madness on the field and so forth. And also Chris Godwin, one of Tom Brady's favorite receiver, will be out as well. The number one running back for the Bucks will be out as well. So I think that's a tough matchup there. I think we'll have an upset in the making. I think young Jalen will probably the QB from not Alabama, no, from the other team over there. We'll soon get into that, but we'll get into that later on. But I think the Eagles destined for upset to come tomorrow. Now the match of the day for me will be the Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys will face off against San Francisco 49ers with that running game. I think that is definitely the match of the wild card weekend. Definitely looking forward to that one. I think the running game of San Francisco is going to upset a lot of people tomorrow in Dallas. I know that Jerry Jones is really wanting this title. He has an explosive offense. The defense has been playing well, but the running game for San Fran, I think, would take that one tomorrow. So the game of the day tomorrow, that's definitely the Dallas and the Niners.
Yeah. But gentle people, don't bet against Tom Brady. Even though he's short-handed,
yes,
don't bet against Tom Brady. But I mean, it's getting to the crunch time in NFL. As you said, it's the playoffs, wild card, and we have prime time matches today and tomorrow.
Yeah.
Moving on from NFL, we go to football. Well, soccer, but we call it football. Sticking locally first, we've seen that local schoolboy football reaching a climax, reaching a pinnacle, coming to the close where we have finalists in pretty much every competition provided except the Oliver Shield. But urban region, we have the Manning Cup finals between the two favorites, KC and JC, two prestigious schools. Closing out semi-finals victories. JC winning comfortable 3-0, KC coming from behind twice, down 1-0, down 2-1, to win 4-2 to set up an exciting final on January 22nd. Between, as I said, two prestigious schools. The last time they met in the finals was 1975. A lot of history, rich history between these schools, and should be a good final. On the rural side, we see where we had both upsets in the semifinals for the D Cup, whereby Dintil and CC were both defeated. They're both in the Champion Cups final, and both were the favorite to make it to the finals. But they both lost. CC, the finalists will be Mannings versus Garvey Maceo. Mannings is known for their offense, and they won on penalties versus Dintil. And Garvey Maceo defeated CC to set up a Dintil Garvey Maceo D Cup final. And I said before, Champions Cup final will have Clarendon College, who defeated Kingston College in the final, and Dintil, who defeated JC. So 6 different finalists running up schoolboy football. Glad to see that the competition got underway, and it was a successful competition coming to a close. My picks are for Manning Cup, KC. For D Cup, I'll go with the Offense Mannings, and for Champions Cup, I will go with Clarendon College. Moving on from football to international football, Reggae Boys will end up coming up where we see some controversy. We'll get into that later, where some Reggae Boys will not make the trip, some due to not being able for passport issues, while others not wanting to come because of club issues. But moving on from that, big match this morning, Man City beating Chelsea. Man City pulling away the title. You can call it, book it, it's over. EPL title, Man City. That's a wrap. I mean, but yeah, we have a special guest today, there before we go to controversial boss at the midway point. But
and remember, guys, that the phone lines will be open at the midway point for discussion.
After sports commentary,
It's 876
552 7406, and that's via WhatsApp only.
All right, now today's guest, we would like to welcome to Primal Sports. One of the most, I would say he's a record-breaking man. Yeah? He was the first umpire to have participated in 100 Test cricket, and he was also the first. He's the first man to also umpire in 5 consecutive ODI World Cup. We would like to welcome this man, the great man, who also is a footballer, who participated in the 1964 schoolboy versus Brazil at the Sabina Park. A goalkeeper, outstanding goalkeeper.
Also,
based on the history
FIFA
books.
referee as well.
I mean, the list goes on and on.
We speak about his accolades, but we give him a chance to
Yes,
break
like
down
to
all
welcome
of that history. For
Stefan Buckner. Welcome to Primal Sports.
Good afternoon, sirs.
Good afternoon, Mr. Buckner. I mean, as we listed out all those accolades, I mean, you will go into that first, but we just wanted to know where did it all started? I mean, not only umpiring, but being in the sports field, because we see that you have a wide range from football to cricket. Where did sports take over for you?
Well, it all started at Cornwall College, but more so primary school, because I couldn't kick a ball on the field. Those days I played with tennis ball, and you had to be able to ship a man. I couldn't do that. And I said, boy, goal. I went there and I saved a penalty and said, you're now the farm keeper. So immediately going to Cornwall, I kept ball for Division 3. Maybe the smallest, youngest person on the field, and said, where's Buckner? Yeah. Buckner is a goalkeeper. You're going to be keeping for Jack Snows. And I was there, the youngest, playing against persons 3 years older than myself. So it all started at primary school, but at Cornwall, I started perfected, if you may say so, the art of goalkeeping.
Yeah. I mean, so that means you kept D Cup for Cornwall for a period of time, coming up through schoolboy football.
Yes, I was in the squad for 3 years. I did not play 3 full seasons. I was reserved the first year, but I made my debut against Russies. The second, I kept a few times, but that was the time I broke my ribs in a pre-season tournament played at Sabina Park. And this was a competition played, well, for a few years. It was the JCs that put on this tournament. And it was played between the 4 top schoolboys in the island. And at halftime, it was Cornwall 3 and the KC 0. And they were a bit desperate in getting back a goal. And somebody broke through. I went down, I had the ball, and his foot was in my ribs. And I injured it in August. And I played just a little bit in that season, but I was part of the squad nevertheless. And the following year, 64, I kept all season. Okay. And this is when I played for Jamaica, all schools, and we were under 19. And we played against a Brazil under 20. Yeah. And this was played at the National Stadium. And yes, we drew 1-1. Tony Keys got us off to a good start. They equalized, but it was a 1-hour scoreline.
Okay. Alan Skillcole was on that same team?
No, sir. Skill Cole could not have been. No, I shouldn't say that. Skill Cole, no. When we heard about it, Skill Cole was playing for their tech,
Okay.
you know, and I think that was 2 years after, maybe 60.
Oh, 66. Yes.
So
yes.
during this time, you played no cricket. You had no affinity for cricket, as so to say.
No, sir.
No.
I was captain for Cornwall. I played cricket 4 years from school, from the age of 15 in Headley Cup.
Yeah. Oh, so you played cricket and football.
And track and field as well.
Oh, and track and field. Okay, so so it's an all-rounder.
Yes. You know, I noticed that most of the guys from back in those days, they played everything. the captain football, the cricket, they were more all-rounded. Yeah.
Well, there's a big reason for that, you know. In those days, we had terms for sports. Unlike now, where somebody would tell you that I'm a footballer. No. From January until Easter, it was track and field. Mm-hmm. And in the summer term, we played cricket. So no football will be seen anywhere. Maybe you could word football, but it was never seen anywhere. And then now, in summer holiday, that is when we started our football training going down to December. So we had different terms, different sports, and hockey was played, table tennis was played, but everything, every sport had its own season.
You played hockey?
No.
Oh.
But no.
Okay.
I was on the play field 5 days per week, 6 days per week.
Okay.
And that is the era, that is one of the places I did some of my studies for senior Cambridge, which you may know as GC. I did a lot of studying on the play field. It was the nicest place to study.
Yeah.
Being out there, practical, learning from being out there. Yeah. So
before we touch to the cricket, I said that you do some teaching as well. You were a teacher?
Yes, sir. I taught for 4 years at Sainsbury Technical. I taught maths and general science, mostly to the first years and second years. But in those days, the technical schools went on for 4 years, not 5.
Okay.
And unlike now, where you would go into grade 7, persons were going into school at the age of 14 and 15.
Okay.
I spent 4 years in school, and I taught for 4 years. At the same time, this is where I started my coaching in cricket, football, and track and field.
Yes, I was about to ask you that as well. If you're a teacher / coach, kind of, yeah.
I went there more or less to coach football, but they told me that you have to teach because that is how you'll get your salary. Coaches were not paid.
Yeah, we know that sports wasn't so professional back then. We have that.
No.
Yeah.
No, but you had persons who went in as coaches, you know. Derek Tompkins coached at JC, and I believe he coached at Vertec. And we had persons coaching judges, old students, but those days coaches were not paid as coaches. Unlike
So tell us about the cricket now.
Fast forward to how you became
an umpire.
An umpire in cricket.
It was my love for the game, you know. I played and I found myself getting a few bad decisions, especially leg before. I was giving out it's ball 6 inches off the stump, and I'm playing back, and there's no chance of the ball hitting, and I was giving out too often, and I told myself that I have to go there to protect batsmen. But when I passed my first exam, I was still playing, but I was trusted enough to umpire and play in the same league, which is sort of difficult to understand, but I was told we usually play just 1 day games, but not overs cricket, you know.
Okay.
Between 11 and 6, just a 1 day game. You bat it as long as you wish. And if I play Saturday, I'll be umpiring Sunday, or vice versa. So I was umpiring and playing in the same league, and I was trusted enough by the other teams. And sometimes the best game, I was asked, please come and do this game because know that you're fair. And even though your team is competing, it doesn't matter to us, please.
Yeah.
So this is how I started my umpiring. And it took me a long time to get into umpiring fully without playing. It took me 13 years after playing, after passing my first exam in 1972. It took me 13 years to leave the game when I was kicked on the football field just above me. And I could barely walk, and I told myself that no more playing. And I started refereeing and umpiring without playing. So in the same year, in 72, I passed both examinations for the referee and for the umpiring.
Tell us about your first international cricket match. Tell us about your first international, how you felt going out there.
In 1978, I umpired. No, in 1977, I did the youth series. This was the Under 19 series played in Jamaica. And I thought it was believed that I did very well because at the end of the series, the manager from Barbados came to me and said, "Congratulations, sir, you have done well. How many test matches have you done? Because your umpiring is as good as test umpiring." I said, "Sorry?
Yeah.
In a test match?"
Yeah.
They must be joking. I said, "No, I've never seen a test match because I would never travel from Montego Bay to Kingston to be in a long line in the morning. And then I said that I'll be going back home the same day." So I said, "No, I've never done a test match." The next question, well, okay, since you've never done a test match, then I'm certain that you'd have done a lot of red stripe cricket. I said, "No, not even one." I can't believe that. Your officiating was as good as and better than the test umpiring that he thought he saw. So the following year, in 1989, I was placed on the panel for Jamaica, and I did my first red stripe match. It was Trinidad against Jamaica at Sabina Park. And Trinidad lost on first innings, which meant that Jamaica won the trophy. And Larry Gomes was on radio saying that Buckner was the best umpire in the West Indies, bar none. I said, "This man must be joking."
You don't believe it.
Yeah.
Your own greatness, eh?
Umpires around, more experienced umpires. And here I am only doing my first red stripe.
Yeah.
And that was radio. But it sort of paid off because after my first game, in the following year, we had traveling umpires, which meant that I think there were 6 umpires who were termed as traveling umpires. And those umpires got 2 matches away from home and 1 at home. And I was made a traveling umpire. And then a few persons took me on because they said, "We don't know about this referee. Or this referee come to be a traveling umpire.
Yeah.
What are his credentials?" But by then, I would have done in the same 88. I umpired when Pakistan came here and played against the West Indies President's 11. And I was told that all my reports were excellent. So I was, because Stephen Comash was the secretary of West Indies Board, and he would have seen what I did from 1977. So I got my first test match in 1989 at Sabina Park against India.
Okay. And that's after officiating in a FIFA qualifying World Cup match, as you can see.
Yes. That was after doing a qualifying game played in San Salvador.
Yeah, I saw that match. El Salvador versus Netherlands Antilles. So you were doing both at the same time? Before.
Yes, I was doing at the same time, but I knew that it would not last because there's bound to be an occasion when there's a game to be played, football, cricket, and maybe it's a good thing that the FIFA decided to cut the age from 50 to 45. So it gave me a chance now to do cricket only, rather than a game, 2 international games on the same weekend. And it is difficult to say, no, I can't do this one, but I'll do the other one.
Yeah.
So,
Cricket probably harder to officiate than football because, I mean, cricket just is longer. You have to concentrate for a longer period of time versus just being there for 90 minutes in football.
well, yes, but what is more pleasing is that decisions are made and people will accept them. In football, if they think that there's one slippage in a game, just one, all hell break loose sometimes.
People think it's a foul or a penalty, whereas when you say no penalty,
Problems.
It's probably harder that way. It's more harder. It's harder to determine calls in football, probably.
And you're right, Ken, 'cause cricket is a gentleman game, football, a buckland, stone, all kind of things that throw when you make a bad decision as a referee. But you'd have been in the cricket atmosphere for 20 years, from 1989 to 2009. Tell me, who is the greatest batsman you have ever seen? You have umpired India, Australia, the West Indies here. Tell us, who's the greatest batsman you have ever seen?
I've answered this question numerous times, many times. And my answer is 3, 4. Vivian Richards is the master blaster. He destroys everything, everybody, without helmet. Most times you see him in a cap. Brian Lara is the best thing that the eyes can behold. When he's on the go, there's nothing, it is so tasty if you and Sachin Tendulkar is the best accumulator of runs. In a test match, he plays for himself. I won't say he doesn't see the other end, but the other end has to do for itself.
So who would you pick if you need to win a series? Which one of those 3? You want to win a match?
All 3 of them.
Because you have 2 of them at one time.
One thing, Sean. Richards plays to win every game.
Yeah.
If you notice, Lara batted in three times. He scored over 300 runs. Well, sorry, not over 300 runs. He broke the record, making 375. But he batted up to lunch on day 3, which meant that there's no decision, nothing for the team. The team, you can't win batting so long. Unless the next team is not good and you can bowl them down twice. When he made runs, it was something similar. He made 500 in England. And it's so long, but Viv Richards played to win every game.
Okay.
Those batsmen probably make umpiring easy for you. You just stand up and just watch the ball go all over the park and signal.
Well, I would say it's unknown because there are batsmen who will get a nick behind and they're guarding the pitch as if nothing happened. It is difficult sometimes for the umpires because you're trying to read the batsman
body language.
Hold on, a mannerism. He's showing nothing. He's not even giving a hint that something might happen because he's not looking behind him, But you have to know those. You have to know those persons. So sometimes decision making it becomes difficult depending on who is batting and who is bowling.
I was about to ask you about the bowlers now.
Whenever one appealing and he's on his knee, not both knees, on one knee, almost arms glass.
How is that?
And not out. He gets up, he says, good decision, that was going down leg.
And bleeding in there.
But the spectators would not understand, They would not understand. He will appeal, he shout, he will do most things. to get a batsman out. But when he sees a fair decision, he makes it known that it is fair. He's happy to say, good decision, good decision.
Probably
But
testing you.
Yeah.
no, well, that's him.
Yeah. I mean,
it must have been hard in your time without now you have the replays and so forth. It must have been hard on you guys. Have you ever made a bad decision in your opinion?
Oh yes.
Yes.
Circulated.
You could sleep after that?
Once, 2 months, you see it on television where some Indian chap puts it up on, is it Facebook? Buckner's worst decisions. Once you see it put up. But you see, where that is concerned, or I won't make an argument. If there were bad decisions, and
we're all human.
Umpires realize that we were contracted for 1 year. So you need to do well to get back for the following year. So nobody's going to try to cheat because he wants to get back out there the next year.
Of course.
You know, and that is important. That is very, very important. So we accept our mistakes. But just to say in this line, someone in New York came to me and he showed me his phone and said, have a look at this. Buckner, 10 decisions, 10 bad decisions. See here. Have a look at this. Someone say, hold on, 10 decisions? Him say, yes, man, see here. I have been umpiring for 20 years and you only can find 10 bad decisions.
Yeah. He make over 1 million decisions easily.
No,
I want to say it is a part of sports, doing that. That whole drama is a part of sports. Bad decision is a part of the game.
Yeah.
No, but you can't find 10 decisions in 20 years.
Yeah.
Thousands of matches that you were involved in.
That's a 99% positive rate.
181 ODIs, and you only find bad decisions. He just quickly put the phone in his pocket and say, sorry, I leave you alone.
Yeah.
Not the best thing for whomever to see someone get 99 out of 100, 99%, and they sit on the one, oh boy, you got one bad, but it's not 99 good enough.
Yeah,
it is one
bad. But no, in life we have people like that.
Yeah.
And I say it's the nature of sports, and we're all human. I'm sure, as I said, the mannerism of players themselves do things unfairly, and I'm sure when you were out there, you thought you made the right decision. So that is the key point, to keeping the morality of it. Because coming from the days where you said people allow you to umpire while you're playing in the competition shows that you are a man of moral code even before you were that big of a professional. So I mean, sticking with that moral code, I'm sure you thought you made the right decision.
It's a tough game, in my opinion.
It's a tough game.
Back in those days, very tough. The edge and when I went to Sabina Park and I used to watch it on TV, you know, and when I got to Sabina Park and I see the pace at which the ball coming in at, I'm saying, my word, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
When you watch it on TV and you go there live, it's a totally different thing. So I would take my hat off to you, you know, because trust me, 10 bad decisions over how many thousands of decisions?
Millions of decisions.
Now, I want to ask you a question now. Tell me about West Indies cricket. What is the problem with West Indies cricket? I know you must be a part of the whole.
T20 is hurting us.
Oh my, hold on. I missed about now.
The producer agrees with you 100%, but
T20 is hurting us. But what can we do to revive Test cricket then? Because obviously people don't want to watch Test cricket anymore. So what can Test cricket do to bring some energy and vibes back to that form of the game?
If our best players play properly, then we'll have better test teams and people will want to come back to watch. But T20, it is over in 3 hours. The game is, and persons would rather watch that, especially at nights.
Yeah.
You leave work, you go to a game. Or, you leave work, you go to a game, You get back by 9 o'clock, you're back at home and you're okay. So you enjoy that, but the type of cricket that is played is not very good because we are literally slugging rather than playing strokes. If you notice what took place in the last World Cup, the best pair of batsmen were the Pakistanis, the Pakistani openers. They were driving through the line. They were scoring boundaries in the covers. They were scoring boundaries on the offside rather than hitting across. Notice the width of the bat, 4.25 inches. So they were showing what we term showing the face of the bat, their stroke play. So it was more difficult for the ball to miss the 4.25 inches than when you play across the line, you're open maybe 3 inches of the bat to make contact. And it is difficult, especially in timing the ball. Notice our big batsmen playing and they're hitting to mid-wicket and they are skying the ball. And if you check our sluggers between them, I'm not certain if they accumulated up to 100 runs between Gale, our other batsman from Jamaica, or all-rounder, the captain.
Yeah.
Those sluggers, I don't know if they accumulated 100 runs. But you notice those persons were playing with what we term a straight bat. They were scoring runs. And then again, if you play in the subcontinent, you don't play across the line, you play through the line. Because those pitches are not going to be bouncy pitches. Therefore, it is better to play through the line than play across the line.
It sounds as if it is a coaching problem within the West Indies. Then, if we're not playing the correct shots, that sounds a bit like coaching.
Or the players not spending enough time
Put it this way:
to hone their craft.
persons in the beginning would be coached properly to play through the line, but if I want to make money, then I am going to play T20 cricket. So I am going to play more shots across the line. So in the beginning, you would have learned how to play properly. But if I want to play T20 cricket, then I'm not going to play through the line. I'm going to play across the line and hit many boundaries.
Yeah.
That is what is going to win the game for me. But persons don't seem to understand that the best batsmen in any form of the game are those who play straight cricket.
Yes,
now, between our sluggers in the Caribbean and those who bat properly, you will check for the last 5 years and see the averages of those persons in ODIs.
Yes.
Not often our sluggers make many runs now. They might score one big score for a season, for a tour, maybe two, and that's all, because what is termed the hand-eye coordination. In other words, if I throw my bat at the ball, I am only trying to time it, but if I play through the line, I will take my head nearer to the ball. And if my head goes nearer to the ball, it means that I am seeing the ball coming onto the bat. If my head is on the leg stump and my bat is 2 feet outside the off stump, it means that I only can time it to hit it. So I am not sitting on the bat. I'm trusting to luck that my timing is good. But then how many persons believe in that? They say no, they want a lot of boundaries.
Yeah.
They want the glamour. Yeah.
You know, and they hit mid-wicket. So
well, so they're sacrificing good cricket for money.
Exactly.
But even when we look at the World Cup that just concluded last year, most of the guys who made most of the runs were all top 10 in Test cricket as well. As what you just mentioned a while ago, that all the good batsmen, even in the T20 format, is still the top batsman in Test cricket as well.
Now why does that happen?
I'm a percentage man, so I will go with the better shot, the more technical shot.
Exactly.
I would not go against that because it's more efficient. I'll go with
Exactly.
efficiency.
And you see, if you're getting up in age, you're above 35, going 40, your reflexes are not going to be as sharp as a 25-year-old, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your reflexes won't be as sharp.
Yeah.
Therefore, you have to depend on timing. And if your left foot is pointing to mid-on or mid-wicket, and you're throwing the bat 2.5 feet outside the off stump, now you tell me, how can you time that ball properly? But you will hit a few of them, you know. But how many of them are you going to hit?
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's another thing that I am not certain if our bowling is planned. I don't know. Why are so many persons getting hit over square leg? Why? We have 2.5 feet outside the off stump where we can bowl the ball, set our offside field, pitch the ball up, and we can have enough persons on the offside. Why did one West Indian hit 4 sixes against England? Why? He was bowling on a leg stump, and the natural way of hitting a ball is the bottom hand, as the power hand. Now, if he had pitched the ball outside the off stump, then the batsman would have had to go out there searching for that ball, and it would have been difficult to hit 6 in the covers or maybe in the third man region. So you could set a field to trap him or to prevent him from getting all those 60s. But persons believe that you have to hit the wicket in a T20 match when that is not so. How many teams are being bowled out in a T20 match? Not many. So it means that you should be there preventing
restriction. Try to restrict.
But then how many persons really plan? Not the persons. I could ask you a question. When you leave home to go to work, do you not travel more or less the same route or similar route?
Yeah, most of the times, yeah.
Well, most of the time, but I was taught to mix it up now. To make sense.
But look,
yeah, most of the time, yes, we do.
But if something happens down maybe a few miles down, you have an alternative.
Yeah.
That's at the back of your mind, you know.
Yeah.
If you're blocked, I can go this way, I can go that way. But what is it that these persons plan? I don't know.
Yeah. I was watching a match and it's the same thing that you just mentioned. I see bowlers bowling and based on how they set the field, and I'm saying, why is he bowling leg side and the captain set the field for offside?
Offside, yeah.
You know, so I totally agree with it. I think that's just bowling for bowling's sake. There's no plan. There's absolutely no plan.
Well, and the question now is, do we have good bowlers? I don't know if bowlers. It is what above the shoulder. That is where the problem is, you know. Above our shoulder, just a little bit, that's where our problems are. We're not thinking people.
Yeah.
We're trying to outsmart or outthink the opponent. We give them something, then we try to go back and get it. And I believe that we do not have to experiment. If I can give just a nice example. When I played local cricket in St. James, we played against JPS, and my captain told me that this batsman, he can't hit anything out of his legs, not out of his pads. And at the end of the day, he took his pad off and showed the captain, you know. So, captain, have a look at this. His T-button, do that, you know. From him ankle up to him thigh, there's some bumps. I hit pads times. Yeah. Just keep nailing the pads, and skipper said, can't score to the pads. So I had no interest in getting him out.
Yeah.
We just nail the pads. So if our game, and we must understand that you set the field according to your plan. If you have players on the offside, you try and bowl outside the off stump. But then this is where you have to practice, and this is where the coaches come in. You go to the nets and say, and today, this is where we're bowling. Because right now, I am doing some coaching. And I am and I have 2 channels outside the half stump. And I say, sir, son, it's channel 1. That is where I want your pitch. So let us start working on channel 1. And he goes there, and I put where the length I want him drop that ball. And I say, okay, come channel 2. And he comes in another 5 inches. And he said, that is where I want. So I say, yeah, you know what happens now? He has control over himself. He can do channel 1 or channel 2. Yeah, because he has control, because he's now practicing something. And it's almost the same thing coaching football. When I coach, there are persons who are the penalty takers. I say 6 penalty. Him say, but me say no, me not about anything, 6 penalty.
Yeah.
No free kick today. I'm kicking 10 free kicks here, corner kick, so that you're never going to be perfect. But if you're close to being perfect, you can be successful. So we practice certain things. We practice until we are able to control ourselves in doing them. Now that is very important. Just like how you know that you start the car, make it warm up a little bit. You reverse, you say, okay, we're driving down this road. We keep our eyes on the road and on the rest side. No, so we are now in control of ourselves. That is what we need to do on the cricket field. Try to control certain movements. If you notice, Joel Garner, until now, he has the world record of runs per over. He's what, 2.67. Can you imagine 2.67 for so many years of playing Test cricket? Because whenever he pitches on a length from far side, he gets the ball to rise steeply. So the ball is coming across the handle of the bat. Now, how many shots can you play with the handle of the bat? Unless he's also off the cut shot. But if he's so near to the off stump, he's going to hit the glove or go past your bat so many times so often.
You can't get any true pace from up in the handle right there.
No.
That's dead. It's dead right there.
So it's a matter of practice. You keep practicing, and then you'll become better.
You made mention that you're coaching now.
Yes.
Yes, so you're not a part of the whole West Indies youth program or anything like that?
No. I am not good enough for them. Sorry. I don't have a coaching, but I
you need a coaching certificate or you need experience. What value experience over paperwork, What do you mean? You're not good enough. You're the greatest umpire that ever come out to the Caribbean.
Yeah, but I don't.
You have an eye for the sport, so why not?
I thought I would have been asked to be part of the umpiring procedures after retirement, and then I believe I could have helped umpires in the Caribbean because there are a lot of things out there. I only learned doing Test cricket. I wasn't these things earlier, but there was nobody to teach. For example, I never knew anything about it until I saw it, and I said, "Hold on, this ball looks strange," but then I can't make a pronouncement. Then it was told what is happening, but you should not be learning so many the more important things. Learning on the job, it is better that you know before you go in.
Okay.
There are so many areas of the game, because what some persons believe is good for you is when you go to seminar, someone says, remember, the ball is round and the bat is of this height and this width and the measurements. Now, those are things that you would have studied to pass a test.
Yes.
But when you read, you hear that if the ball is going to hit the stump, you give a leg before. How do you know the ball is going to hit the stump? It's not a matter of if, it is a matter of practice.
Yeah.
So that person has an idea when the ball is going to hit the stump. So there's no if. It is when it is going to hit the stump, then you make your decision. But we believe that you keep on reading, and you read the same thing over and over and over, and you make the same bad decisions over and over and over. Why? Because you do not know what the correct decision is to make.
Yeah, I can testify to that. As I tell you before, I believe in being practical, being out there in terms of experience. And you sound like somebody that I definitely think should be around the West Indies in whichever form, whether it's as a coach or helping umpires, as you said. But in I didn't know that would have gone on so long, but I know you have more to talk about the cricket, and I love in the argument because I'm a technical man myself here, because I like to hear the technicalities and the little things about the sport. But we have to wrap up. But in wrapping up, what would you tell our youngsters now? Let's give them a one talk. A lot of them watch the show. What would you tell them as upcoming batsmen and bowlers or cricketers that aspiring to probably go into the West Indies and the IPL and whatever? What would you tell them? The two things.
Learn to play proper cricket. That is the first and most important. If you are batting, try and hit the ball through the line. Play proper cricket. It is only if you play proper cricket then you can play the unorthodox shots and play it well. And it's like Viv Richards. He hits a ball to extra cover 4. He hits another one, same place, and the captain moves the mid-wicket fielder into extra cover. And he goes and he plays to a mid-wicket. Same ball hit to mid-wicket. So he says, skipper, you need an extra fielder. Because here's the man playing orthodox cricket, and you block what you think is his next move, and he plays an unorthodox shot to mid-wicket. So these persons need to play proper cricket. Bowl, good line, length and line, stay off stump, outside the off stump, stay there, set your field wherever you think they can prevent runs from being scored. And well, sad to say, good coaches.
Yeah.
We need coaches. Yeah. But Mr. Butner, thank you for coming on. And I tell you, I definitely have to get you back on. We don't know when, but we set a date. We definitely go to our producer. We have to set a date because I want to talk some more cricket. But thank you for sharing with us your experience.
All that insight. Thank you. It's a privilege for you, and I'm sure the viewers listening. Yeah. All your experience, and from we here and our producers.
Yeah,
thank you for taking the time and giving us your insight.
I remember you from those days. I was upset with you a couple of times as well. I didn't want to mention anything. You're out my playing, but anyway. Yeah, you're one of the greatest umpire the world has ever seen. So thank you.
Well, I bet it's a left arm slow bowler and a left arm batsman.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Butner. Looking forward to see you again.
It is my pleasure. Whenever time possible, I'll come back if you want.
All right. Thank you. The pleasure is ours. Thank you.
Yes, okay, Jordan.
Yeah.
All right, dear. Yes. It's time for sports commentary with the controversial boss. Take it away, Peter.
Well, viewers, greetings. Happy New Year again. This week on sports commentary, I want to talk about, funny enough, we had the great Steve Buckner a while ago, because I want to talk about rules, why we have rules, and what happens when we play by the rules. What is the message that sports is telling us, other than to play by the rules and play fair, play hard, play by the rules, and the better person will win? But then, what do you say to somebody like Lewis Hamilton? Lewis Hamilton played by the rules, and the goalpost got shifted while Lewis was in the middle of dominating a race. Mm-hmm. He was several seconds ahead of his opponent, and then they changed the rules. Steve Buckner have a consistent set of rules, but this was being run not by a referee, but by a race director who changed the rules. So now we hear talk, and you alluded to it, that they're going to review the case, because even though Formula One ended a month ago, it still doesn't sit well with people. Because what is the lesson we're telling people? What are we telling people? If Lewis Hamilton did everything right and through some kind of fiat, some change, Lewis Hamilton is not the winner. Are we to just accept a bad decision and just say it's a bad decision in sports? Or are we going to correct that decision in the eyes of the world? A lot depends on this, because, Lewis deserves his day in court. It's not an easy thing to put in the effort that he put in, especially in the second half of the season, and have it stolen or unfairly judged. Steve Buckner was just here. Have it unfairly refereed, and then things. So it's good news that they're going to have this inquiry. Some people say let bygones be bygones. You can't let bygones be bygones because lessons emanate from that. Now all we can talk about nowadays on the same theme is like no sports took place this week except lawn tennis. There are 100 and odd people down in Australia who want to play some tennis, and all we're talking about is one man, and that one man's ambitions. And like it or not, his ego. His ego has driven him to do a lot. No, I always cheer for the champions, but can I cheer for somebody who doesn't play by the rules? I mean, we're just talking about Lewis Hamilton playing by the rules and getting shafted. What you say of a rule that says that everybody who enters this country, including people born in Australia, Ken Watson, Dale, people born in Australia were unable to return home because they didn't get vaccinated, couldn't produce a thing. Here's a man not born in Australia who feels somehow entitled to present an exemption. And this is really what I want to talk about. Present an exemption and enter a country where everybody should be vaccinated. He doesn't want to get vaccinated yet. He then enters the people country, getting some dubious permits. And now we have the debacle that we have now. So now, the latest thing now is that Australia is detaining Novak Djokovic. He's back again behind bars while they try again to do over the appeal. The government is fairly determined that this guy has to play by their rules. This guy is determined not to play by their rules. And so in the court of, public opinion and in the world, we're going to ask ourselves, what is sports? Who's a champion? A champion is a guy who uses the rules and wins. I don't think a champion should be a person who gets around the rules and wins. Novak Djokovic, this is going to determine, down there, Nadal is down there, waiting to see if he can get to, is it 22 or 21? See if he can get to 22. To 22. They're tied. So Nadal is down there, and I would love to see who is going to really get to 22 first, because Novak, I very much suspect Novak has done more wrong than you think. I suspect that he heard that the only way to get into Australia is to get an exemption. And therefore, I question if he really had that second COVID attack. Did he really have that COVID second infection? I'll tell you why. Novak has been seen on the day subsequent to his announcement of a positive COVID test. He was around children. He was around journalists. I don't think he's a madman. If he knew he was COVID positive, sick, contagious, with the most deadly virus, you think he would be around those kids? I don't think so. As bad as the man is. Do you think he'd be around a journalist? They have a picture of them hugging. Do you really think Novak? I don't think so. And therefore, I think that Novak hatched a plot. Let me say I was sick. Let me get the exemption. There are people within Tennis Australia who will get me in. And the government say, no. Novak. You're not getting through. That's commentary. Do we play by the rules or do we work around the rules? What say you?
Yeah, great one there. You want to touch on the Formula One first?
I mean, I'm perfect touch on the tennis first. And do remember the phone lines are open. You can call anytime now. The number is 876-552-7406. And that's via WhatsApp only. Novak.
Yeah.
I mean, we want him to play.
Yeah, I want him to play.
Do you think he'll play?
No chance, no way, no how.
No way, no. Australia's
As I
coming
said-
down hard. And I mean, we know Australia is different.
Yeah.
And Australia has their rules, as Peter mentioned. And I mean, you have to play by the rules if you want to play in Australia.
Yeah.
And
As I said, Ken, as I said, we were discussing this last week. Politics is involved now because you see where they're going to have an election. And they're going to have an election very soon. So that prime minister, there's no way he can allow Djokovic
hold up, our
to
first call for the day. Hold up a second. Hello, good afternoon. Hello. Welcome to Primal Sports. Good afternoon. Caller seems to not be getting through. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Caller, I'm hearing you.
Yes, good afternoon, Batsman team. How are you guys doing, man?
We're doing good. How are you, sir?
I am not too bad, not too bad.
Mr. Madden.
What's your sports take for the day?
Yeah, well, you know, it was very insightful from the great Steve Buckner, as you guys.
Yeah.
He is indeed a legend. A lot of useful points to note coming out of that conversation. There's one thing I disagree with him with. It's the point where he stated that T20 is destroying West Indies cricket.
Mm-hmm.
I understand where he's coming from with the notion. However, I think T20 is instrumental in getting younger people interested in the game of cricket, because young persons were never interested in Test cricket for the most part when I was growing up.
Well, I would disagree with you. I think what he was trying to say is that it is affecting them to hone their craft. I mean, we still have people playing cricket. We still have a Jamaica team. We still have talent. We're still putting forward people, but they are less talented. Why? And I think the point he was trying to make is that because everybody wants to be a slugger, everybody wants to make that big money, that big bash, they neglect technique and just, so to say, want to be yam diggers.
Yes.
As I know controversial bars would say.
With big belly.
Yeah, so I think that's the stance where he's coming from, that's where it's destroying it.
Yeah,
but T20 has its place to stay, definitely. But
Madden, I want to ask you something. Instead of we talk about T20 and what the glamour of T20, can't we make Test cricket be the same? Can't you find some form of, what do you think?
That's exactly where I'm going with that. I'm saying we shouldn't put the blame on T20 and on the fact that the players want to go there and make that money. I mean,
so you're saying that you should change the whole atmosphere for Tests?
They should put more marketing and more backing behind Test cricket, right?
Backing like money, more money.
Yeah, Test cricket definitely. They need to get some stronger sponsors involved in Test cricket. I mean, it is the foundation of cricket, so to speak, isn't it? So they shouldn't be allowing Test cricket to fall by the wayside, so to speak. You get me?
But I mean, the purists of the game would disagree, because the purists of the game always go to Test cricket. If you ask any top analyst or top cricket enthusiast, Test cricket is cricket. But,
yes, exactly.
Yeah, but whereas so to say,
which is why, in my viewpoint, when players are saying they want glamour and fame from cricket, T20 should not be the only place that they can look.
So we have to blame the organizers of Test cricket. Then they need to step up the game.
But also,
I remember
as much as it's a foundation, it needs to adjust to the times as well and make it more appealing.
But touching on Dale's point,
and when I say appealing, I mean appealing to the players themselves,
but
in terms of rewards.
But even so, touching on Dale's point, the top T20 cricketers in the world are the best test batsmen.
Yeah.
So what we should probably do is put our best test people in T20 and not the best T20 people, probably, if so to say.
Yeah.
Because in the long run, the technique and the craft that's what Mr. Buckner was saying.
That win every time, because you know about technique. That win all
reigns
day,
supreme.
every day.
in any sport, across any sport. So you going out there swinging, just trying to make runs, versus people who, as Mr. Butler said, that's where the problem lies, above your shoulders, who think and apply themselves.
And on that point, I agree with Dale on that point, in that I think we should look at that from a coaching perspective more so than it being a fault of the format of the competition. Right? I think that's something that well, not just the West Indies, but the cricket boards across the world need to look into and ensure that their batsmen put in the time to hone their craft.
Yeah.
Not just in Test cricket.
Just imagine if you can get a man to make 2 runs off every ball in an over. That's 12 runs right there. That's a superb strike rate. If you can just pick the field. But I mean,
but Mad, you know what I think, Mad, you know what I think though? Test cricket, we need to have those dancers. We need to have the pool. No. It's a part of the entertainment. We need to make Test cricket an event.
Yeah, to make it more
attractive. Of course.
Sports is entertainment, and nobody wants to go out there and sit for 5 days in the pale hot sun. I mean, or to watch a sport.
We went to a test match, and how was it?
That's an experience not really fit for airplane. I mean, that was a memorable moment, and I enjoyed the cricket because I remember Jerome Taylor bowling down England. The last test match we went to in
from 54.
We were upset that the test match ended prematurely, but it was exciting. And we were enjoying ourselves, and we were there, and the fans were there not only to engage what's going on out on the field, but also in the stands. So it had an entertainment value package. But nowadays, test match cricket is dead. It's lull.
It's dead. It's dead.
Yeah.
But man, thank you very much. Thank you very much for calling.
Yeah. You know, the other thing I'd love to touch on though is that
I have 30 seconds. Real quick.
Playing by the rules that Peter was mentioning earlier. No problem. I definitely agree with Peter. I agree that I think Lewis was shafted, and it is quite unfortunate. However, all the F1 enthusiasts that I have spoken to about it are quite content. They're saying that's just the way the sport is. I mean, yes, there was a slight rule change.
A slight rule change. Slight.
A massive rule change in the process. So what you're saying, it's understandable. That's just how the sport is, and they're fine with it. And for the love of me, I cannot come to terms.
I don't think it's. I think what they're doing is they just hyping it up for next year.
Correct. All right, but thank you, man. We're gonna discuss that in a minute.
Thanks for calling.
We'll give another call. Another call. Yeah.
Do remember the phone lines are still open. Feel free to call. Number is 1-876-552-7406, and that's via WhatsApp only.
Yeah, they're a lot of the drivers in that Formula One race, they're all complaining. They're all complaining. What's his name? Michael.
I don't think Max is complaining.
No, I tell you this. I think that decision might just be overturned.
I think that decision will push Formula One through the roof next year for ratings. They know what they're doing.
Because Lewis Hamilton has not spoken to this day.
And I mean, that will...
About him and the match. So I think Lewis is watching to see what's the outcome of the inquiry.
But being a champion, and you are mentally...
No, it was straight cheating, Kane. It was straight cheating.
Peter has said before, Lewis will be back. And I think he'll be motivated. And that's what the organizers want. I, for one, think it's unfair.
Of course.
He has been shafted.
And let me show you why I think something is going to be. Normally inquiry don't take so long to start. It should have started like 2 or 3 days after your appeal. And so that's almost a month now,
Yeah.
So you know that there's something there, man.
Yeah.
I think there's more to it. But as I say, I think they should just, how hard it is to sit in a car for hours upon hours driving at that speed.
Yeah.
For a man to be cheated out like that, in that manner.
To see where he came from.
Yeah, man.
Fighting back. Being on the cusp of victory.
And I don't let me tell you this, I don't like how Max Verstappen drive at all. No.
A big driver still.
He's a good driver,
big driver.
No, man, no.
But Lewis had a goat, but I mean,
I don't think this kid gonna last anyway. This driving, no, he doesn't play by the rules.
Yeah.
That guy named Max doesn't play by the rules. But he has had that
Mad
help.
Max and beyond.
Of course, he have help from Michael right throughout the season. You know, but
And here we have an next caller coming in.
yeah, but going back to the Joker. So Kane, what do you think the fate is tomorrow? Back home?
I don't think they let Joker play, but
Yeah.
I think that it will probably negatively affect the Australian Open. I mean,
Again, Nadal throwing words though.
well, Nadal.
Nadal saying, boy, nobody is above the tennis. No one man is above the tennis.
Hold on, wait a second. We have a caller coming in. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Primal Sports.
Afternoon, guys. How are you doing?
Good.
Afternoon, Ghost, Mr. Golson. What's your sports take for the day?
I think Dale already said it, when it comes to the cricket. Test cricket versus T20.
Yeah.
I remember the days watching cricket back then, they used to give away the vehicles after each test series. And you don't really see that happening now. Like the series end, trophy giveaway, and that is it. So I think test cricket needs to go back to that level and also include the whole aspect of the entertainment, like the mound and such, and make it a little bit more lucrative because all the sponsors are heading towards T20 because of the.
Do you know that Test cricketers are paid handsomely? It's just that with T20, it's quick money and less work. So the mentality of the players is that, I mean, they can play for 3 hours and make that much money versus playing for 5 days. But being a Test cricketer, they get paid handsomely. But the problem is the performance on the field, I think. And I mean, T20 cricket, as I said, 3 hours versus 5 days.
Yeah.
Easy money in comparison. Would you want to work for 3 hours and make that money or work for 5 hours?
As great as Lara is, man, I ain't sitting for 5 days watching that man back. I need some entertainment, man, more than just on the field.
I mean, Test cricket used to be more accessible on TV.
Yes, it
and
was.
now we have more channels.
Yes.
I mean, I used to get up earlier and watch Test cricket with my grandfather. But nowadays, I don't have that.
Yeah, that luxury, yeah.
That affinity to be like, all right, West Indies playing, it's not being advertised, it's not being marketed. If Test match isn't, it's about in a park, we don't really know about it. So I guess from an organizational standpoint as well, Test cricket is failing and it is being outdone because of the T20. So T20 is taking over while there's nothing being done for the Test cricket. But it still has its place.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a money issue because Test cricketers get paid handsomely. So
integrate a little 10 over where bring some level of entertainment back to the cricket of Test and see how it goes.
But then again, I think that also if we started winning again, we get more.
And again, Mr. Goldston, the thing have to be more out there and more global as well, you know. I see where T20 is on ESPN, it's on all the big channels. You know, Test cricket, yes, it's do come on from time to time, but they need to market the individual athletes a bit more as well, you know. They definitely.
Novak.
Yeah, man.
Novak.
What you think? He should play? You think he should play? He should be allowed to remain in Australia, even though he's unvaccinated and told all those alleged lies. What do you think?
He will not play. He should not play.
Why do you think he shouldn't play?
That's what they said. The lies.
The lies.
I
mean,
discrepancies and
what lies?
Entering the country, needing the exemption and all of that. why wasn't this presented firsthand? Why afterwards being detained? Oh, I had an exemption.
Yeah, giving wrong dates as well, saying that he had COVID and said tested positive on the 16th and then find out that it's on the 17th.
I mean, that's just bad paperwork, so to say. But why shouldn't he play? Why should Novak not play what trains are hard to do? Him on a record-breaking campaign. He's one of the greatest of all time. Him spend so much hours, put so much hard work, and just because him don't take the vaccine, not be allowed to play. Why do you think he shouldn't play? Because that doesn't affect his tennis. That doesn't affect me watching him play tennis. I want to see the greats out there playing. Why shouldn't he play? Novak not taking the vaccine don't affect me. And also, I mean, you can still contract the virus and transmit the virus if you have the vaccine. So, versus another person that is vaxxed. If he doesn't have the virus, does a negative COVID test, get into Australia, get into the tournament, stay in a bubble, why should Novak not play Australian Open?
That's a part of the rules that I think.
No, just because it's the Australian government.
No.
But the tournament itself, I mean...
I'm surprised Cunning one is not defending himself.
No, not the Cunning one.
No, this is not the Cunning one.
Okay, because I was saying, the Cunning one now.
The Cunning one would be showing jobs at the right away. Left, right, and center.
So, Anil, what's your thoughts on it? Tell us, based on what Kane just said, what you have to say? You sound so quiet. You don't have anything to say?
No, man, no, man.
And anything, on your point?
I think you should not play.
Yeah, why? Why do you think he shouldn't play? I mean, give me a reason. Just like how Peter think he shouldn't play, I think he should play.
You want me to give you an answer?
No, your answer. His answer.
Okay,
I know your answer.
Go on, O'Neill. Go on, man. Defend yourself, man.
Mm-hmm.
No, man. I think not based on what Peter said, but I think he should not play. It's not. It's a country, and they have their rules. They have their rules. They have their regulation. You have to abide by these things to play that tournament.
Well,
the tournament is posted in that country. And if you're not following the protocols, you're not following the rules, then no. Despite the status, despite how rich you are, despite you being the defending champion, this is what the rule states of the country, and if it's that's the rule of the country, that's the rule of the country.
Not only that, it's called the erosion of public order. Yeah. The fact is that you have given a public order that you'd like the public to comply with. Here comes a foreigner who is flouting your rules and then further spreading the thing that the vaccination is not necessary. Because see, I was able to get in. You erode the public order and you're doing damage to the greater good.
For Australia, only for Australia.
Yeah, to the greater good.
Australia's rules.
Yes.
That's the only reason, because
so you don't get in. You don't get in.
Don't get in.
No vax. No vax.
No vax.
Thank you, O'Neill.
Thanks for calling, O'Neill.
On that point, Peter, that's one of the biggest problems. It's because, as I tell you, he's very influential.
I know.
So they cannot allow him to
Australia
do what
cannot lose this battle.
Australia cannot.
No,
it is about the rule of law.
No, but
and you as a country, you cannot lose face in this. It's a political thing, you know.
It's a no-win.
It's not sports. It's done to
here
politics.
comes a foreigner coming into your country to say, I will not follow your rules.
After the whole population has been locked down.
Yeah.
I
was going to say something about the sovereign republic of a compound, but I don't want to. That's more of a primal news.
We're not going into a compound.
But yes, Peter. They can't allow Djokovic.
Cannot be allowed to come in.
I tell you, and
hear the truth, no? Can you imagine if Nadal go win the tournament? Oh my God, the apple cart is upset.
And there's no win for Australia, and them lose already.
They've lost already. They've lost face.
Because if
the mere fact that
you let him in
reach,
is a problem.
And
if you don't let him in,
twice.
Yeah.
The outside world.
You detain him, you have to let him go, and then you're gone back.
Shambles. Yeah.
It wasn't a strong stance.
It
wasn't a strong stance.
He's on the land.
No, but you know what the problem was? Them out for Djokovic from before him land. That was the problem, you know.
But then why not? He made a statement.
No, I agree.
Jovac said, I am going to play and I'm not getting vaccinated.
Peter,
He said it before.
They didn't follow the proper channels. Immigration. That's
Yeah,
the
so
problem.
how
They didn't
Who
know
don't
that-
vax people?
No, the immigration.
Australia, how
But that's
original
why
land.
they threw it out in court.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that them so anxious. And I'm saying, yes, man, we're getting no man. That's exactly what
I
I'm
mean,
doing.
if we all knew this before, because this was a topic that we were speaking on.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
How comes Australia let Novak Djokovic land on Australian side?
It's an example.
No. Let me tell you what happened.
It's political.
His agents got an undertaking from the Australian Lawn Tennis Association.
Yeah.
He
And
will play in the
Victoria,
tournament.
the state
He
of
will play in the
it.
tournament.
Yeah.
He then got an exemption from the state of Victoria. He will, if he's here, he'll be allowed to play. But what you have to understand, you need a visa to enter a country. That's a federal matter. And he did
So the
not.
fault is not on Novak. and it's on
No.
Victoria
He came,
State
he
plus
left with a
Australia.
misunderstanding. And some people had this similar misunderstanding. Once he's here, he'll be allowed to play.
Yeah.
He left with a misunderstanding.
He left to them and he's
Yes. Or a deliberate misunderstanding.
and he's on the land.
Yes.
Got the thing.
He has
Free
floated
him
it. I tell you something, you know. Guys, Novak could technically be imprisoned, you know. He could be imprisoned because if it is, as I suspect, that he has lied and deliberately tried to flout the law. Because that trail is there, you know. The trail is there that shows that, you know.
Of course.
If it is proven, he can get up to 3 years in prison.
Yeah, but
Not asking.
But you know the world is not level, Peter. That will never happen.
No, it will never happen. I agree.
That will never happen.
I agree.
And I don't think the governments will ever allow that. But the prime minister, president.
No, they're not going to do it.
They're
And
not gonna
sometimes
do
they
it.
don't do certain things.
Yeah. You
Because,
know, come on,
All right,
club,
in
Peter.
Jamaica,
Right?
I agree, but in Jamaica, lately, some
world
people,
is not fair,
some people
look.
challenge the prime minister on social media. No? Them go on social media and say, Andrew Wellness, come down here, and 2 Tuesdays are locked up.
Yeah.
And yet I see the president of the Sovereign Republic of a compound. The man says some things, and nobody can go to jail. But we don't want to go into politics.
Yeah.
It's not sport. We don't like politics. Yeah, we don't like the controversy.
Yeah.
Sports we're talking about.
Oh boy, but Joker will play tomorrow at 9 o'clock.
All right, so
Yeah,
we
Australian time.
all three of us agree that we don't think Djokovic can play Australia.
I'm pretty
Right?
sure he's not playing the
We're
tournament.
pretty sure that.
I am pretty sure.
They're gonna have to redo the
Last
draw
week,
tomorrow.
we said we wouldn't play. Then in the middle of the week, it looked like he was going to play.
But-
and now, we don't think he's
But
going to play.
I tell you something to you now.
It's too much
Oh,
pressure.
how,
Too much pressure.
but
on the
how
government.
cockety can Australia tennis organizers be? They have done a draw with Djokovic in it.
Yes, it's
That
fair.
mean to say the man them not respect what them government are doing. You know?
There you go. So the problem lies with
They didn't say
Australia
pending. They
tennis.
didn't say pending.
Yeah.
The man them say if Joker gets to play. You know what happened in France? You guys follow what France do? France make an announcement. France, which is one of the countries worst hit by COVID, you know. France made an announcement say we will make him play.
Okay.
You saw that?
French Open.
That's-
Yeah.
I'm just
What
going to say-
what kind of
He's going to play in Europe.
I know,
Yeah.
but what kind of signal are you sending when France has already announced, when the French Prime Minister is already announcing, you know, say he might go punish the unvaccinated in France. You saw it? The French Prime Macron has said that he's going to be annoying to the unvaccinated.
Yeah, because
you can't
the
even go
rules
into a
are-
shop in France without vaccination certificate now, you know.
But there are League One players that are not vaccinated in France.
Trust me.
Professional.
Macron, the president,
Is it a democratic government? Okay.
yeah, France is democratic.
Let us continue. Because
Anyhow,
we're not gonna get
the
into
point
we don't want to get
is,
into that right now.
the French Open
There you go.
have announced
That
that,
they're allowed.
Joker will be allowed to play. It's the same crap that Australia has done because their tennis association went and obviously gave them an assurances, you know,
Of course.
that if you get an exemption, you can play.
Yes.
And this is where the problem is.
Novak messed up though, you know.
Oh, tell me.
No. If you lie good.
Yeah.
No,
you
if,
never
if,
think
if,
it out.
if you're gonna try something, you do the thing properly, Bridget. You can't be giving somebody
He has
two
a
different
PR
days.
team. He has a
I
PR
tell you what
team.
it is, you know.
No, he must
you
be
probably have
himself,
more
Ken.
practice lying
Yeah.
than Joe. That's probably what it is.
No,
You're probably a more seasoned liar than Joe, man. and this is what
all
it is,
ladies
man.
not listening to that part. But
Yeah, but it disturbs me. I say, how can you make so much mistakes?
It's a lot of mistakes, and he's
It's a lot of
blaming
mistakes.
everybody else but himself.
I
So
think-
if he was a regular man, he'd be in prison.
Yeah,
now.
man.
I think they're setting up Nova.
I don't think so.
No,
think
it's
they're
not being set
setting
up.
up.
No.
He has stepped into it. He has stepped into it.
Novak just want to
Listen,
play.
you have to pay the price. And I
No,
said,
but
Mohamed
just
Ali
want
pay the
to
price.
Yes, correct.
Colin Kaepernick pay the price.
They pay the price.
Yeah, you have to pay the price.
Jovac,
You
but
can't
the
pick
difference
and
with
eat it.
Jovac is Jovac don't seem prepared to pay the price.
No.
Jovac don't want to pay the price.
He's not
Remember
going
what I
to pay
said
the
enough.
price. Because he's going to play French Open.
You take
He's
a
going to play
stance.
Wimbledon.
You take a stance. Stand by your stance. I will respect your stance.
Yeah.
But him don't want to pay the price. Kaepernick is the best example.
so
Kaepernick knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And he's out of the game 2 years now.
6
At
years.
6 years. Jesus, it's so long.
From the time flyman from 2016, 2017.
So bigger loss.
Yeah.
Novak, Australian Open tennis, or the Australian government? Who has the biggest loss in our
I think the government in trouble.
I don't think so. If they
Australia
stand by their guns, they will eventually gain back the respect of their population. Because a lot of Australians vex over the lockdown, you know.
Of course. So that's why them vex over Djokovic.
They are very vexed over
That's why
lockdown.
them vex over Djokovic.
And worse, if Djokovic gets through, the Australian government is in tatters.
have no chance. Them have no chance.
They're in tatters.
You know, they interviewed all the locals in Australia. Everybody said, get him out of my country.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
yeah?
Yeah, man. They want him out, man.
Want him out.
You do have tennis supporters, but the general, the mass, the population, they do because they've been on the lockdown.
But then-
Can you imagine you on the lockdown
So
and then come on.
so
I
that's-
remember when the ship landed in Jamaica.
Now, I'm going to tell you something now. Djokovic is a big man, a Serbian.
Yeah.
Because you see the Serbians, he can do nothing wrong.
No, man.
He can do nothing wrong in Serbia. Me and the man must say, Djokovic is like Jesus. The parents say he's being crucified. And I was like, a true thing. Go check
We're
it.
not taking the vax.
Hey, Peter, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Even though I talk against Djokovic, I want him to play still.
Why?
No, man.
Why?
I want him to play, but I understand that him break the law.
So, the government
But
stands to his
Joker is probably the most popular athlete on the planet right now. You know, even before this, you know, when he went to Olympics, you know, everybody flocked him. You know.
Deal.
I know your
Djokovic
stance.
has as many haters as lovers.
Well,
A lot of people hate him, you know.
Yeah.
that's
A lot of people hate Djokovic.
I think he has more
And-
more lovers now, but
Yes,
back then,
I agree. When he got to 21, when he got to 21,
20, I just checked.
I saw his fans just jump up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
But I'm saying that
You saw him
Jeremy
at the
Djokovic
Olympics?
is not the most popular
You saw
person.
him at the Olympics.
No.
Everybody was flocking him.
Did you see his behavior when he lost?
It don't matter, Peter.
Did you see his behavior when he lost?
Threw a
That is not
tantrum.
champion behavior.
No,
That's
Peter,
not champion behavior.
Peter, this man here. If you have 1 billion against, you have
Yeah.
1 billion for me. I tell you, this
His
man here.
behavior has always been suspect in my
That
books.
is why maybe what Kane said the French government, or when you say the French government, they got allow him to play.
Why don't he play? In Europe, he's European. He's going to play in Europe. I think
So Serbia have COVID over there. They don't seem to care much about
Oh
it.
boy.
It's
But Kane,
Australia.
Who pass reggae boys, guy? I hear you talking about man don't want come since them get new contract.
I'm Shamar Nicholson saying
I've
in the
heard
next window he won't
He won't be available.
be available
Yeah.
to play for the Reggae Boys because he wants to settle in his new club.
You know, we
in
need to
Russia.
review this thing about reggae boys. I don't want to say anything about table tennis, but I hear some people talking about some reggae boys thing in table tennis, you know. We need to review this reggae boys and what has it really done for Jamaica. We know that Englishmen get better contracts when they claim to having a Jamaican Cup, and that might motivate them to play for Jamaica. But what has it done for the program of the game of football in Jamaica? Has the Reggae Boys program done anything for the game of football in Jamaica?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think it's better we develop a Jamaican style of football, learn to play football, and then take these guys and build them up. It might take more than a 4-year cycle. But Jesus, man, what's happening now where we're looking for people
I've
that
heard-
didn't even know?
I've heard people say qualifying for a World Cup was one of the worst things for Jamaica football.
It is. I agree too.
But then I don't agree with them.
I don't
But I would
agree with
say
that, Peter.
I agree that what I'm saying is that we didn't do as much as we needed to do.
I'm gonna
after
tell you guys
qualifying-
something.
Qualifying.
I'm
We
gonna
didn't
tell you
take-
something.
We didn't take as much from it in building.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you something.
structure of football in Jamaica.
Yeah, it benefit individuals.
Let me explain something.
Individuals more than-
Let me explain something to you guys. I had an experience. Kane wasn't of the age yet. You were probably closer to the age. There was a time when Arvil Aslam was in charge of table tennis in Jamaica. And Arvil Aslam came up with a strategy that he was going to import people from England, people from not living in Jamaica, to play for Jamaica. You ended up with an elite team, Carl Morgan, probably Stephen and Garfield, who were not necessarily living here in Jamaica, to play for Jamaica. And it decimated the national program. right then and there were people who were playing good TT who backed off and said they can't make a team because you're picking these foreign people who don't even sound like us, look like us, to play for Jamaica. And I think that's what the Reggae Boys phenomena did to football as well. Because we had a local football. You must say, if you are Premier League champion of Jamaica, big baller, 5-6 goals in a 20 goals in a season, and you can't make a Jamaica team because some dude from England playing for Watford or Brentford or some Division 1 or below thing that you make national team. How? What does that say to you? How does that affect your ambition?
Going to League 1 and League 2, I even say they're trying to get a 30-year-old player from the Championship Division to come and represent Jamaica.
We're going down in the brambles, the bottom of the barrel to pick up people just because of resume.
As I said,
and at a certain age as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
30 years old.
Yeah.
What is that going to do for national
especially
program?
for the next cycle,
Yeah.
we're at this point.
Yeah, as I said at the starting of the whole campaign, I never liked that foreigners, too many foreigners.
People looking shortcut.
But
you're looking to find a star boy who somehow nobody else know about to just come and just win the game for us.
Yeah.
Foolishness.
Yeah. But
The purpose of football is because we play football here.
of course,
And this is why, if you notice, I've been fighting ice hockey because
it's not played
there are
here.
no hockey rinks in Jamaica. We have people flying all over the place to go pick up NHL players whose auntie or cousin or grandfather was born in Jamaica. Foolishness. Foolishness. Then we give them Jamaica shirts. They don't even know the anthem. Sometimes the anthem singing and they don't know the anthem. These people want to play a sport for us.
I think we failed before we even start, you know. The idea, the whole concept of how we're about development of sports, and I think we failed a long time. You know, look at football. You're a footballer.
Yeah.
How can you develop on pitches like that while we're playing and out here?
What's
You understand? That's like a
the
prime
schoolboy-
example.
yeah,
The
schoolboy
mentality is
program,
like the whole.
In fact, you don't pass on the ground in Jamaica.
You can't.
You can't pass on
You
the
don't pass on the ground.
Yes,
The
sir.
first time I played on turf, AstroTurf, it's a different experience of football, you know. You skate the ball like golf. Yeah, that what I mean Jamaica.
Versus what they're playing on there now. I mean,
When I went to Trinidad,
take the fields in.
yeah.
You can't play
You
free
can't even
flowing
pass the ball
football.
properly
No,
because you
you
don't know how
can't
much
roll the
weight
ball
you
on
must
the
put on the
ground.
ball.
You cannot.
It might bounce,
Yeah,
it might
yeah.
bounce up. So
Yeah.
So
It's
it's
a
either you play
different-
individualistic
we
or
feel before we
long
start. They're not
ball.
addressing
There's no
those
structure.
problems. They're not addressing that.
All they want to do is go in the newspapers
All
and
they want
look
to
some
qualify
English
for World
boys.
Cup, I said they
Look
won't
some English
qualify.
and qualify for World Cup.
Want to qualify for
Yeah.
it, but they will never qualify.
They will never
for World Cup
qualify.
for now.
I think so.
Not with that mentality, man. Not with
The
that
local
mentality.
talent goes by the wayside.
Of course, all of them.
And I mean, and I think
I've seen good
and I think
footballers
that we
here
need to-
locally, young.
Yeah.
the most pliable trade for some of these footballers is even trying to get into the MLS system.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get a decent wage salary. I mean, not to say that is the ceiling, but some of these where the talent.
What's the
is
level of
different.
MLS though? Is MLS players any use to us in Jamaica?
I mean, compared to what we have out here.
No,
as
these
in-
MLS players will be local players and get
Just like
contracts.
getting into
contracts
MLS,
and
yeah.
getting
contracts.
I believe that's a good pipeline. I believe that's a good pipeline.
That's-
You must
instead of
have-
trying to focus on getting to EPL, we don't have everybody not going to be a record baby card, but if they get into the system
They get
where
into-
they play,
Yeah.
make a living, earn, play football, and I mean it's a higher level than
Of course.
in Jamaica.
Teach them to be professionals at the same time.
Yeah, and MLS is sort of on the trend of going upwards, not to say compared to Europe, but you still can go to Europe, but try to get more people into MLS contact.
Oh, guys, I need to make an announcement. On the 29th of January, we'll be featuring Olympian and greatest swimmer Jamaica ever produced.
She's still the world record holder?
World 50 meter short
Breaststroke,
court.
breaststroke.
Yeah.
She tell us
Alia
already.
Atkinson
Yeah.
will be our guest on the 29th. So that's
2
what
weeks
to look
from
forward
now,
to.
yeah.
Yeah, 2 weeks to look forward to from
I'm
now.
looking forward to
Yeah.
I've never spoken to a swimmer before.
Yeah.
You know, in terms of the whole swimming thing and how you move. And
Well,
all
at
that,
least hope you
the
can
training.
swim.
I can't say, but you can say. But yeah.
Yeah, we'll talk to Butler today, boy. Him start getting into some real thing what we never really had
And
think
that
about
to
as
show
a
you
cricketer.
being around cricket that long or a sport that
Yeah.
you must have an insight to a sport.
But
Where
why
being an-
why are
why
these
use
people
them?
never part of a program? Why am I always booking up? Why am I always booking up people who know sports, great football people, great cricket people, and they're always on the outside.
I'm
What does it take to be? Yeah.
You know, when you're great sometimes.
Why them always step on the outside?
It's when you're great like Mario and them man.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you know no manners, you know. You're
strong in the ideas.
Yeah, you're strong, and sometimes you have to know how to balance it. So sometimes it's a part.
And to work with people as well.
Yes, you have to know.
And work with the project side, because for me now,
It's a pity though, you know, because the resource exists.
Yeah.
A man like Steve Buckner is eminently qualified,
Of course.
for help people along the way to become better cricketers and even better umpires and so on.
even you in table tennis, they don't use you to try to develop.
No, you will never find a man like me.
They don't
having
use
a
me
role.
to even try to develop
yeah.
it. Okay, come and develop
No,
it.
you know why?
They try to do everything for
I
themselves.
would be a threat to an administrator because having run the admin, never say something. And similarly, no coach wants your input, you know, because they're going to say, it's Kane Watson must run the thing, you know. No coach wants your input.
But I believe, I do believe that experience
Yeah.
value
Experience paper.
more than this piece of thing here.
Because Lugo Young is the national head coach.
That's
of
what
China with no paper.
Yeah.
But,
No paper,
no, but I'll tell you
because-
something. If the coach of Brazil is invariably a great player, he's never an academic, you know. He's never an academic. What I notice is happening is that in table tennis, and I see it in football too, there was this push by the governing bodies. There's this push by the governing bodies to have a lot of academic courses. People travel, come down here, and people sit in a classroom and they go on blackboards and all this kind of thing. Same thing with table tennis. And so we have a cadre of people in Jamaica who tell you that they're level this coach and level that coach. Kane, any of them can coach you in a table tennis match?
No, not even, I wouldn't say they can't coach me. I've never coached anybody before.
They can't tell you what to do in a
before.
TT match because they do not understand the nuances of table tennis at the highest level.
Yeah.
You know that. And so you sit with these people and they sat in the course, you know, I'm sure they passed the course. But they have no clue about the real performance aspect.
And
I think it's the same in football.
And even so,
Yeah.
preparing a player for a tournament and coaching a tournament is two different things.
But
Yeah,
Ken,
that's
if
true.
you get
People still don't
but you get
understand
to
that.
the highest level, that should be part of your course. You get to the highest level. You know what they should do?
No, but then again, we get that from being experienced and being out there.
In their graduation, whoever you are, level that JTT talking to you, in their graduation, get 3 of your prospective coaches with level 2 and level 3 and whatnot. Let them come and coach me in a match, and then let me judge them. Let them go coach you, and then you say which one is talking garbage. Which one is talking garbage? Because I hear a lot of garbage.
All they do, you need to attack more, skip to the table.
Yeah.
They would even say,
What do they know about table
you don't
tennis?
sharp backspin to him before and giving him trouble in week.
They don't know
Long
that.
to
They
him
have
forward,
never played.
they're telling me, oh, I need to stay up and attack more, and be more aggressive when that necessarily might not be my style.
Let me tell you a joke. I'm going to tell you a joke. There was a famous match in which the Chinese player was playing. The bad behaving Chinese player. When you again him chop and him thing. What's his name again? I don't remember. Chen Wai Shing. Chen Wai Shing was playing a match. Chen Wai Shing playing a match. And the umpire, fault, taking points from the great Chen Wai Shing, you know. Chen Wai Shing now playing for China and playing for Austria. How much years? And Chen Wai Shing get vexed and take the racket and say, show me how to serve.
Yeah.
Take the racket and say, show me how to serve. Guess what? The umpire cannot serve. And yet he wants you to serve.
How is that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A man like Steve Buckner can come and tell you,
Exactly.
say, brethren, I'm not sorry go.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true. And he was also a player as well.
Yeah.
That's why him have
These are the people
so-
we're
so,
supposed to coach.
The people
Yeah.
that around the sport and in the sport.
Yeah.
I've encountered umpires that just feel like they're umpires
Me
and
know.
sitting in the chair.
Me know.
Yeah.
And I have to go to the head
They're
umpire
much
and
over
say,
it.
hey, you need
He
to
don't
switch
know
this
nothing.
umpire
Yeah.
or this game is going to be.
I
Yeah,
tell you-
go Latin America, go play. Go Latin America,
I
go
tell you
play.
something, Peter.
Yeah.
It's just like a doctor.
Yeah.
If you have a doctor who perform millions of surgeries successfully,
Yeah.
and you have a doctor with all the paperwork, never do a surgery, who are gonna make the
Especially
surgery?
the teachers.
So who you gonna make it?
I don't want to call the name, but when I was going to high
First thing
school,
you have to
hold on, let me tell you something. When I was going to high school, a Spanish-speaking man came and we go for the Spanish teacher. And the Spanish teacher could not speak Spanish. She can do conjugation. Hablar, hablamos, hablenda. But she couldn't talk in Spanish.
couldn't hablar,
I
hablar.
swear to God. I know, me know nobody guess who I'm talking.
Well, we know it's teach me still.
No, don't do it. Hey, listen.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We come to the end of another show, Primal Sports. You know, we had the great Steve Buckner on the show today. Looking forward to hear from him again, because he gave us some details about how we can get cricket back on
I'm
board.
convinced the resources here.
Yeah.
I'm convinced.
And the talent is here, but as you made a good point where you said the problem is above the shoulders.
Yeah.
The thinking and the
Yeah.
process of what goes into the cricket. And
Yeah.
we see that all across.
Anyway, your Uncle Randy is eager to get started.
Yes, so stay tuned on the Primal 4K app. Uncle Randy is next.
Uncle Randy,
Thank you.
One
Take care.
love.
Bye.
One love from Primal. Big up.